If you're interested in buying a new die cutting machine, this little beauty is really one that works well. This is the Cuttlebug from Provo Craft, and this Cuttlebug is a manual die cutting machine. It's not very big. That's one of the advantages of it, and there's lots of different places you could store it. If you notice here, the handle that's important to cranking to get those dies through is tucked right in the machine, but it pops out very easily. And then once you get the beds of the machine set down, it latches down to the table. And that's another advantage, so it won't rock it back and forth. So with the Cuttlebug, you can see we have some dies here from Provo Craft. Let's take a look at them. You can see that they have a little bit of foam here. And if you look here, in between the foam, that's where your die, the cutting mechanism, is going to come through. Once you feed it through the machine, it gives it a squeeze, gets that cutting edge to come up through the foam, and that will cut your paper. Let's take a look at how we would sandwich this up to get the cut that we need. You'll start with an A plate that gives it some height in there. Then you have the B plate beneath it. Add in your dies. You want to, as it says here, place the foam side up. As many dies as fit on here is great. You can cut lots at one time. Then you put your paper on top of that. And then this well-loved and well-used cutting plate right there on top. And then you feed it into the machine. Give it a few cranks. All right, let's take a look at how those cut. Take off your cutting plate, and voila, you have a butterfly and a leaf. So kind of fun that you're able to make these beautiful things very quickly with this die cutting machine. One of the great things too, another advantage of the Cuttlebug, is that it can accommodate dies from other companies as well. For example, you can see that this is a much thicker die, and the space in between the rollers here can accommodate a thicker die. Now this time you will not need the A plate to give you the thickness. You'll just need a B plate, your die, the paper, and then also the top cutting plate. Run that through, and it easily slides right through with that thicker die. So lots of fun things you can do with dies from lots of different companies. Let's say you have a thinner die than either of the ones that we've looked at. The Cuttlebug also has a C plate, and if you look at the C plate, it's just a little bit thicker than the B plate. So that gives you a little bit of thickness so that if you have a thinner die, you can run that through the Cuttlebug as well. So for affordability, lightness, and also the fact that it's pretty easy to store, the Cuttlebug from Provo Craft is a great choice. Now it's your turn to go forth and create.